Yo, what's up, everybody? Long time no see. You're probably wondering where you been. Well, I'll tell you. Since our last video, whether that was the short that you watched or the Maze videos update, I don't even know. Um, we got a house. We bought a house. We moved. You can see kind of behind me, I'm in a different setup here. That's the closet still yet to be built in, but I'm able to get the shot. So I'm able to get that running. The Jason David Frank tribute. Got some autographed memorabilia chilling in here. I've shown it off a few times on the channel, but once we finish buying furniture and all that, we'll be able to have that set up properly. So that's nice. Yeah. June was absolutely consumed by the Great Trench fiasco, in which this new house, it's an older house, but there was a gas leak in the main line from the meter to the house. So it didn't come up during the home inspections. It ended up biting us up in the butt. We ended up having to do it all by ourselves, out of pocket. Just a true nightmare. Real first time homebuyer woes. I was told, welcome to the world of home ownership, more times than I want to count. But that's definitely behind us. So June and July happened and games were played. Now, June primarily, I'm gonna be real with you, I only played one game, and it was pretty fun for a little bit, and then after a while it got repetitive, and I'm not really playing it anymore. And that game is Warframe. Warframe, I have a pretty unique history with. When it came out, I played with my friend a lot. We played a ton of different missions. We got leveled up ridiculous, but I never received any of the blueprints for anything. I never received anything that made the game more worth playing more. So I kind of got burned out. I leveled up a certain character, the one character they gave me, and then I just never played it again. Flash forward 10 years. My friend, same friend, he's like, hey man, you should try downloading it again. See maybe if they gave you they updated your game. And they did. They gave me a real good quality of life update. I got all kinds of money. They gave me platinum and stuff like that. And I was able to purchase the character that I wanted to play at the entire time. Rhino was his name. Giant Tenno, just a tank. His name is Rhino, would you expect? And played a whole bunch. Was able to unlock more characters and more characters. And then, I played the character that I really wanted to play. And then I played as another character that was kind of cool, was a unique character that is just completely, adjacent to what I normally play. So that was most of June. I spent all of June just playing that and digging. Again, the trench fiasco, I ended up having to dig a 50-foot trench, 2 foot deep, with the later assistance of family members and friends. But for the first batch, it was just me out there, and that sucked. So Warframe and digging was what I was doing in June. Now, while that was occurring, in my Dungeons and Dragons friend group, a seed or a virus was beginning to spread. And lo and behold, I will take some responsibility for it, because I introduced the Binding of Isaac Four Souls card game to our group. And it was told to me after reading it that it's Commander Light. Now, if you are not familiar with what I just said, Magic the Gathering is a card game, just like, that's the first card game. So there's Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, all those other card games. Well, the most complicated one of them all is Magic the Gathering. from what I've been reading. So I introduced Four Souls to the group. We played a few games together. Thought it was totally a good time. And then a member of the friend group was like, "Hey, why don't we just start playing Commander?" And then another member was like, "Well, I have a Commander deck already." And then, oh yeah, I just bought one. Yeah, me too. And then from that moment, we all started getting them. So, in June, between digging in Warframe, I was playing a whole lot of Magic the Gathering. Now, my deck has gone through many evolutions since I first picked it up in the beginning of June, but one thing has remained the same, or well, a few things have remained the same. The commander is Mogis, God of Slaughter, Giant Minotaur, indestructible. When his devotion reaches level 7, he can start swinging. And he deals 2 the second he enters battlefield. He deals 2 damage every turn to every opponent. So everybody has to make a sacrifice. Either you take 2 damage or you sacrifice a creature to Mogis. It's a real nice way to generate some hate. But the other thing about this deck is that it's a Minotaur deck. It's all Minotaurs. I've added some new monsters in there, but for the most part, it's all Minotaurs. Minotaur Shamans, Minotaur Warriors. Here's a Minotaur Archer. It's all Minotaurs. So it's the disciples of Mogis, the God of Slaughter, as they traverse the various planes of existence, causing as much calamity and destruction as they wage their war against blue and white. It's a Rakdos deck, which means it's black and red colors. Let me see, probably on the side better. I did just buy some new cards today, so that's like one of the new cards I just bought to add them in there. It gets rid of a enchantment, which this deck has a really hard time doing, so that's why I threw that in there. The whole thing is focused on being scary, throwing out Minotaurs, swinging hammers. But I'm starting to pimp out this deck. If you guys remember that show back in the day. So I'm buying nothing but hollows for my swamps. I'm gonna have all hollow swamps. I just updated a bunch of different Minotaurs to be foils. So like this on TCG, there's a hollow version or a foil version of this card for like 50 cents. So I bought that so I can have a foil version of this one. He's already in the deck, so might as well. But yeah, so June was absolutely consumed by a new addiction, and that is in plastic and cardboard. Some cardboard is more bent than others, and they need a little bit more attention. But yeah, I completely threw myself into it. Essentially stopped watching stuff on D&D because I kind of feel comfortable with all the rules and mandates and rulings. Not mandates, but rulings and how certain things would play, what the intention is. So that was June. Magic and Warframe. Now, this is the update, channel update bonanza after all. July happened and games were played. Now, in July, I had hot water. Now this whole trench fiasco had left me and my family without hot water. Now, thankfully, we were still living at the other location before we moved, and while all of this was going on. So we were kind of living between houses, and that kind of sucked. But in July, things actually started happening. We didn't have the TV entertainment center set up yet, but I was still able to connect my PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 2 up to the TV. And with just those 2 consoles, you are privy to thousands of games already, and a majority of my library is PS2 games and PS1 games. So, yo. And of course, now that I currently can't play my PS3, I want to play some PS3 games. And all I had to do is just switch out the consoles, because the PS2 and the PS3, at least the early gen, they had the same the ports. So you can just use the same wires from a PS2 to a PS3. So that was nice. Well, unless you're using HDMI, but my HDMI is busted, unfortunately. And you know it's a classic because we're sipping on that C4 pre-workout. Okay, now, July. I had intentions for July. Primarily, what I wanted to do, because I noticed every time I went to my friend's house and played Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on his cabinet there, the Arcade 1-Up cabinet, so it was a 3/4 replica, my forearms would just absolutely get blown up, like completely lactic acid filled. That's uncommon because I can play fighting games hours and have no issue. So I realized that it's more so the fact that it's a smaller scale, and that it was the ergonomics were so messed up that I had to play sideways like this, and I'm not the widest in the shoulder department, but I wear like a 46 jacket and suit coats if you know what that means. So the idea is that I wanted to build up my forearms using video games, and I chose Marvel vs. Capcom 2 because, of course, for a while I was playing Venom, Cyclops, and Juggernaut because Juggernaut be juggernauting. But I beat my high score using Venom, Cyclops, and Iron Man. Iron Man's pretty strong. So I was doing this, but this is all right hand development here, right? So your left hand is just movement, right hand is all button mashing. So this is right hand carpi extensor radialis muscles, right? And then for the left hand, we got that Rock Band life. So we were playing Rock Band to build up the left hand or the left forearm muscles. It's a ripple. We were jamming out here, playing some Rock Band, building up those forearms. I'm pretty far into it. I think I got like 30 songs of the 56 unlocked on this. On Expert, of course. Gotta play it on Expert. What are we doing? Great times, having a lot of fun playing these. And then in the back half of July, and that's spilling over into August as we speak, if you've watched my videos, and I highly recommend you watch some of my shorts because I showed this off a long time ago, I was playing some Chrono Trigger on the PS1. Now this game is a Super Nintendo Mount Rushmore. Easily. It is often spoken about one of the greatest Super Nintendo games created. It's a good game. What are you gonna say? I have a Super Nintendo, but I was given this, and that is great. Free games are always great. So I had that itch. I finally wanted to play it, and then I popped it in. Finally, it just said no more Rock Band for right now. Let's pop some Chrono. Played that. For a Super Nintendo game, it is very open-ended. This was open world, 1992 or 96 or whenever that game came out. But there is so many opportunities to sequence break that game. It gives you every option, every chance to screw your game over. And I respect that. I don't like it, but I respect it. There's a lot of moments where it's just like, what am I doing? Like, I ran through all of those enemies and I had to go through, it took forever. It was a 20-minute slog. And now I can't even do anything. Like, what am I doing? It doesn't really give you the information. Every once in a while, I just got lucky, but you can talk to one character, one NPC, outside of time. Yeah, you should, Chrono Trigger's crazy. He tells you sometimes where you can go. But anyways, so many sequence breaking situations. But I'm in the caveman time, 65 million years ago, and it's a great time. The cutscenes are unexpected and always appreciated. the turn-based RPG aspects of it with a little bit of live action, because you can get attacked while you're attacking. It's kind of pretty nuts. I'm pretty sure it's Akira Toriyama's first job, because there's Bulma, Gohan, and 18, Android 18 in the game, but not yet, not exactly. So July was a lot of forearm training with Rock Band and Marvel vs. Capcom, the Fighting Collection. Great game. Working on my Venom combos. Unlocked some new Venom combos. Got some good DHCs going with that Cyclops and Iron Man combo with Venom. Just having a lot of good times playing those two. Then scratching my RPG fix, that JRPG life on some Chrono Trigger. And that pretty much took care of us during the month of June. But before I let you go, this is a bonanza after all. We got incredibly lucky. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And don't forget, everything in life revolves around timing. It's very important that you understand. It's crucial that you look for opportunities, and you say things when you see things. So I got Vigilante 8, The Second Offense. Now, it's not the fact that I just got them. The future of blowing beep up is here. So, I have the first one. I've talked about the first one. I love me the first one. Car Combat needs to make a comeback. Your Twisted Metals, your Vigilante 8s, your Rogue Triplications, your... where's the other one? Twisted Metals, Rogue Triplications, Vigilante 8s. There's the fourth one I'm missing. Can't think of right now. But this is a complete inbox. Bam. Bam. Now the story. It's pretty. If you look, there is a scratch towards the corner there, and I might have to deal with that in the future. I'll take it to not retro room. My buddy there, see it? Yeah, there it is. So I might have to deal with that in the future. But Everchange. I might have to take the Everchange if I run into a skipping situation. But I get there to go look at some more Magic cards, because of course I am. The arms race that these create is ridiculous. You play a couple games, you see one of your friends slapping down some cards that you have no answer for. You're online looking up cards that you can play, because you're limited to the colors that you can use. So I have red and black, so you can only play red and black cards. So there you are looking up red and black cards that can deal with enchantment or deal with life gain, or blah, 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 insert reason too. So I was at Bookman's sorting through their bulk box. I found some really good cards in their bulk box. 25-cent cards, and you look them up and they're like $5 cards. So that's pretty nice. So yeah, I was going there, looking up the bulk box, yucking it up with the fellas there behind the counter. It's like, oh yeah. Although, when I see Vigilante 8 sitting on top of a pile there, and I ask, hey man, how much is that Vigilante 8 going out for? And he tells me, oh, well, I haven't even buffed it. We just got it in today. And it looks pretty rough. So he opens it up and he shows it to me, and it's pretty rough. It's been in the case for 20 plus years, probably hasn't been taken out, and it was probably left in a shed outside at like 120 degrees. So it was a bit rough. It was a bit rough. It looked like there was a film on it. There was a situation in which it seemed like it just probably wasn't going to work. So he cleaned it, isopropyl alcohol, and then resurfaced it. And then I asked if he could test it, and then he did test it. So yeah, man. I was like, I got the first. I told him I got the first one. I got a huge PlayStation 1 collection. Again, first rule: if you are going to collect video games, tell everybody that you collect video games. So I tell him, like, yeah, I got a huge PlayStation 1 collection. Got Vigilante 8. I love card combat games. He was, all right, cool. I'll give it to you for $5. I'll take that. After he tested it on the PlayStation there, worked perfectly fine. Like I said, I may have to deal with that at the final boss or whatever. But $5 for Vigilante 8 complete inbox is a this is a CIB, so CIB's running about $40. That's one of my best pickups. I'm not gonna lie. That's one of my best pickups. And I had used a bunch of trade-in value that I had some Pokemon cards I was not playing or using, or rather putting away, and they were just chilling in my truck for basically a year. I had 20 or like $16 on that card, and I was able to get the game, all my cards that I just added in here, like that Beholder card that I showed you earlier, for basically for free. An absolute banger of an outing, and I'm sorry I've been gone for so long. I'm gonna try to be on top of it a little bit more. Work is getting hectic, but you know, what are you gonna do? No one wants excuses. All right, everybody. I'm glad to be back. Keep an eye out. I'm gonna try to be a little bit better about making some videos. But until next time, buenos noches. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. If you like Magic the Gathering, if you like PlayStation 1 games, if you like Super Nintendo games, if you like Power Rangers, make sure you like. It would go a long way. All right, everybody. Appreciate you. Have a good night.